An excuse, there's your rebuttal right there. And by the way, it's just the nature of life. We will all come to a point where somebody puts us in a tough situation and you'll have a choice to make. Am I going to find a way to get through this and achieve what matters to me? What else can I do mentality? Or do I go the other direction and say, not my fault, nothing I can do, and I give up? Two people can be confronted with the exact same challenge, same barrier, same obstacle, and end up with completely different results.
We partner with organizations to help them more effectively tackle the pressing issues of artificial intelligence impact, flourishing technologies, white and blue-collar robotics, relentless change, and disruptive competition. Clients become thoroughly equipped to better lead their teams and organizations through this time of seismic, unprecedented change, in a period where folks such as Ray Kurzweil, who used to head up Google's artificial intelligence department, suggested by the year 2029, if we choose to, we will have the ability to connect our neocortex, our brain, to the smart cloud and know all there is to know about everything. Or Ben Goertzel, widely considered the foremost authority worldwide on artificial intelligence, who said not so long ago that within a few years, up to 80% of all work can be completely abolished due to artificial intelligence.
To see the big picture, to recognize our realities, the only way we can see all there is to see is to come together as a team. We need, and by the way, it is the root of creating a highly accountable culture, is making sure that we're recognizing the realities by coming together as a team, having open and candid conversations, seeking perspectives of others, asking for and offering feedback, talking about the elephant in the room, and anticipating opportunities. Fail to create focus, alignment, and passion and energy and engagement around what's really, truly important. How do we get to the next level? That's what propels us to. You don't want to be one of the three companies that were up there. You don't want to be a Kodak, you don't want to be a Nokia, and you don't want to be a Blockbuster.
Complacency and clinging to the status quo are the prescription to obsolescence and irrelevance. We enable organizations and teams to discover the skills and competencies that will prevail in this new world of work, to ignite and nurture the resiliency, tenacity, accountability, and agility and ownership that's essential more now than ever to thrive in this new world of work. Embrace and cultivate the keys and the best practices of peak performing teams that consistently achieve and exceed what matters most, and to understand the current forces that are in play and what is coming toward us down the road and on the horizon.
They wiped them out, put them out of business, destroyed them. There's destructive and disruptive competition out there in every industry looking to take your market share. And if we're complacent, if we're too focused on managing and not enough emphasis on leading our organizations, we're in jeopardy. Because we want to win, you finally got to it. What's the must-achieve desired result for a football team? Win the game. Every single player is crystal clear on why they're there. When they line up 53 players on the sideline, there isn't one that's standing there saying, I'm not quite sure why we're here today. They're crystal clear on why they're there, to win the game. So they go above and beyond their job description to help the team achieve the result.
In this new world of work, leveraging ideas, speed, talent, distinction, and leadership at all levels will separate the top-performing individuals and organizations from the laggards.
Buddy, Charles Darwin said it best when he said that. It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but those most responsive to change. That applies to individuals, to teams, to departments, and to entire organizations. Those that adapt, evolve, innovate, grow, constantly learn, will continue to thrive and excel in what we call the new world of work.
My work for 23 years has focused on leading and thriving through change, cultivating peak performing cultures and teams, unleashing resilience, accountability, and ownership, and developing leadership capacity at all levels. We all have a choice to make, distinct or extinct. Let's lead the way in the new world of work.
You know, it's like telling folks within an organization, we need to be a world-class organization. Well, that sounds great And everybody's going to buy in and say, that's wonderful, but exactly what do I need to do to help us get there? There's a little bit more behind the result, and we work with organizations to get real clear on making those results meaningful, measurable, and memorable, so that everybody in an organization is absolutely pristinely clear and aligned around what's most critically important. And there's a lot of positive outcomes that occur when you are able to do that. Boom, they fall. Do you boo them? Boo, that ain't walking, kid. Get up, you slacker. I've been walking 50 years and that ain't it. No, you don't boo them. You give them the appreciative and the constructive feedback. You tell them, here's what you're doing well, keep doing that. And then you give them the constructive. Here's what you can do to be better. Take your time, keep your balance, move a little slower. It's the combination of both that moves people forward.
We're in a brawl with few roles, where the fast, flexible, and agile will eat and spit out the slow, overthinking, and complacent. Individuals and organizations that fail to adapt will find themselves vulnerable and at the mercy of technology, other people, events, or the competition.
Those are the results we need to go after. And we need every single person on our team to choose to voluntarily take accountability to help us achieve that. Remember, this is big caution here. You got to watch out for the number one saboteur that destroys execution and the achievement of desired results. Anybody want to venture a guess at what that number one saboteur might be? Well, it could be yourself, but there it is. We call it the whirlwind. It's the day job. We can get so caught up in the minutia of everything that we've got to do, all the activity that we do just to keep the lights on, that we fail to create focus, alignment, and passion and energy and engagement around what's really, truly important. How do we get to the next level? That's what propels us to. You don't want to be one of the 3 companies that were up there. You don't want to be a Kodak, you don't want to be a Nokia, and you don't want to be a Blockbuster. They were tinkering on the whirlwind. You want to focus on what are the top 2 or 3 results right now, the critical few results that if we make this a reality, propels us to a better place and secures our position in the new world of work. You know, there's a rub or a conflict when it comes to the whirlwind and the goals that we need to achieve. In the whirlwind, it's urgent, the day-to-day stuff. You know, it's the balanced scorecard stuff. A red light goes on and you gotta go rush off and take care of it. It acts on you. The new stuff, the new results that you're going after, they're important, vitally important, because you know it's gonna take you to the next level, but you need to act on those. Even if you had nothing new to do, if there were no new goals, results to go after, would you all still be busy every day? Absolutely, there's always stuff to do, right? But is it the stuff that's going to take you to the next level? The trick is to implement a strategy or a result in the midst of a 100-mile-an-hour whirlwind. And too many companies, too many departments, too many organizations, and too many people fail. They get caught up and swept up in the day-to-day minutia. You need to narrow the focus above the whirlwind. You got to maintain the whirlwind because it has got you where you are today, but you got to figure out what are the new results, the new stuff, the new initiatives, the new strategies that we know if we make that happen, that's what will help us secure our spot in the new world of work. That's where you narrow the focus. And you can't do it all. You know, that's another failure most organizations make is, you know, let's just say, look at the top of this graph here. The number of goals or the number of results you want to achieve in addition to the whirlwind. So if you want to go after 2 or 3 really important goals or objectives or results in addition to maintaining the operation, and you're focused on 2 or 3, you're pretty well set up to achieve those 2 or 3. What happens if you pump that number up to 4 to 10? What do you usually see happen? Yeah. I didn't hear anybody say we get the 4 to 10. Usually it goes backward. We call that the law of diminishing returns. You pump that number up to 11 and 20, and now what happens? 0. You diffuse all focus and all effort. Everything is a big blur. Nobody has any clue what's important. You want to focus to 2 or 3 at the max. By the way, it doesn't mean those 11 to 20 aren't good ideas. You know, they're all good ideas, but you need to focus of those 11 to 20, whether the 2 or 3 right now, based upon our circumstances, that we have a window of opportunity. If we achieve them, we're in a better place. And once we nail it, then we pull one of the 11, 20 in and replace it. Those aren't going to go away. And the problem with those new ideas and those great ideas, do they come to you at the beginning of the year and say, here's a neat pile and here's the order you need to approach them? No, they don't. They come at you daily as a boss. You have people coming to you all day. We need to do this. We need to try that. And we try to do it all. And guess what? It's one of the reasons most execution of key strategies fails, because we try to do too much. There will always be more good ideas than there is the capacity to execute. 90% of the time, it's actually 92, we rounded this number down, 92% of the time, folks that work with us or for us are not crystal clear on what you want them to help you achieve. Think about that. 92%, and try it when you go back to your team. Ask 10 people, what are the top 2 or 3 results that we have to achieve? How are we measuring them? Where do we stand today? And what do we have to get to and by when? 92% of the time, people don't know. Think about that. Can I expect you, Jefferson, to take accountability to deliver a result that you didn't know existed? Silly. How would it feel for me, Ryan, to hold you accountable to deliver a result that you didn't even know existed? And very frustrating, very stressful. We can't do it. Sometimes we get in our own way. So we need to get really clear. We need to cultivate this culture where the mindset is we're coming to work every day playing a winnable game versus playing not to lose. Have you ever had that feeling coming to work where you feel like you're just trying to keep your head above water? It's not a great position to be in. A lot of negative feelings and emotions associated with that. Have you ever come to work every day feeling like, wow, I'm playing a winnable game. We're making progress. I'm crystal clear of what we have to go after. I know what I have to do to help and how I contribute, and we're doing it. Something that's really important, takes us to the next level. That creates high levels of engagement, of innovation, of accountability, of ownership, of passion. There's a big difference between employee engagement and employee satisfaction. There's a lot of really happy, satisfied, miserable people out there that aren't helping you at all. They're happy with their paycheck and their benefit.
Jobs are being replaced rapidly. What are you doing to ensure you're one of the 20% that stays? What are you doing to ensure you're leading an organization that will be relevant 3, 4, 5 years from now? It will take exemplary leadership. So the number 1 best practice that we talked about was model the way. We're going to hit the other 4 real quick, but there's a dramatic difference between leading and managing. Both are absolutely essential in any organization, but all of us as individuals need to take on more leadership mindsets, as well as managing our careers and our destiny. Leaders make things happen that otherwise would not have happened. Managers make things happen that are supposed to happen. That's the root of what management is. Both are essential. Leadership is about moving forward. Management is about control and making sure we're doing the things we think we ought to do, doing them the right way. Management is usually an assignment. Leadership is a choice. You don't have to have a title. You don't have to have authority to display exemplary leadership practices. Managers often focus on tasks and activities. Leaders focus on the big picture and possibilities and opportunities and enlist and gain the heads and hearts of those they lead. Management produces predictability. We need that within organizations. We need consistency. Leadership is all about that stuff there. And if you need to implement any sort of change or get people on board to accelerate and achieve the results that are important to you, it's essential that you connect not only logically, but you got to connect to the heart. What's in it for me? And a lot of leaders miss that. They think just because they planned and thought about a specific strategy or initiative for a few weeks and well thought through and probably great ideas, that just because they regurgitate that to some group of people, that they'll immediately embrace it. It doesn't work that way. How do we connect to the head and the heart? You know, there's got to be the head, which is the logical part, but that produces slow, methodical change. In today's environment, we need accelerated change, big, fast change. That requires the heart. You have to have commitment. Compliance won't cut it. These are the 5 best practices. 100,000 case studies. What is it that these leaders do that causes others to want to follow them? We hit that one, model the way. Inspire a shared vision. Challenge the process. Enable others to act and encourage the heart. So within each of these, there's 2 what we call characteristics within that practice. And again, you'll have access to all these slides and additional material that goes deeper into it. Model the way. You have to set the example. If you're not willing to do it, don't expect anybody else to do it. You're being watched. We demonstrated that with that hand clap exercise. You got to achieve small wins and celebrate those wins. People need to see that we're making progress. We need to paint such a crystal clear picture of what's possible, what opportunities we can go after, that people don't need a lot of prodding. They'll self-select in. When we do that, it's all about possibilities versus tactics. Tactics don't connect to the heart. Possibilities and opportunities and what's in it for me connects to the heart. It creates a mindset of I want to make that happen versus I have to help make that happen. Compliance versus commitment. You create a pull versus a push, and a focus on results versus just coming in every day to be busy. Activity in and of itself will not necessarily produce the results you want to achieve. We want people coming to work every day focused right there on what's the most important result that we can go after that puts us into a better position and secures our place in this age of disruption. Not just coming to work every day and putting our heads down and being busy. And we need to be clear with those results. People need to know exactly what they are and what's in it for me. Challenge the process. What are some opportunities that we can go after? How can we reinvent ourselves? What are some calculated risks that we can take so we're not complacent and that we end up as a Kodak or a Blockbuster or a Nokia? Enable others to act, removing obstacles and barriers, strengthening by developing others, promoting teamwork and collaboration, and finally encouraging the heart. Without celebrations, life becomes a series of boring Wednesdays. What are we doing to show that we're actually moving forward in the right direction and that there's something in it for all of us? Celebrating team accomplishments, calling out appreciative and giving appreciative feedback when you see people doing the right thing. I don't think anybody has been offended by somebody sharing too much appreciation about how much value they bring to the